pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. I'm Jeff Benton, President of the Board. To my right is our Vice President, Gary Merrill, and our County Administrator, Mike Fromer. To my left is fellow Commissioner Barb Lewis. And Jennifer is waving, which means she's going to be running the meeting today. So let's start.
Resolution number 20-1020, in the matter of approving electronic record of proceedings for regular meeting held November 12th, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 20-1020. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 20-1021, in the matter of approving purchase orders and now certificates and payments of warrants in batch number CM APR 1113 and memo transfers in batch number MT APR 1113.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 20-1021. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 20-1022, in the matter of approving right-of-way work permit summary sheet.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 20-1022. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 20-1023, in the matter of approving an agreement by and between the Delaware County Board of Commissioners and Title First Agency Incorporated for title services for the Agricultural Easement Purchase Program.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Mr. Stevens, anything you wanted to say? You don't have to, not required.
This is a review since 2016.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Okay, vote.
Vote on motion 20-1023. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
You're good, thanks, Scott.
Well, I'm not sure, I thought I saw Director Mag, but,
Ah, here's Tiffany.
Resolution number 20-1024, in the matter of approving change order number 1 with Equivoca Water Technologies LLC.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Morning, Commissioners. Tiffany Mag, Director of Environmental Services. So this is our bioxide chemical that we use to feed into our pump stations. It eliminates odor in the downstream areas. And what we have here is, this is the first one-year extension. We originally went into contract with Evoqua in 2019 through 2020, and now we have the option for 2 one-year extensions. So this is the first one-year extension at the same price of $2.02 per gallon. We currently are on track to spend about $150,000 in this bioxide chemical this year. And this is the chemical that previously, dating back to 2016, we'd spent over $400,000 per year. And we did a study to eliminate some of the areas that we were overfeeding the chemical and really got it down and dialed it into where it needs to be. And we're continuing, obviously, to do that.
And complaints?
We've had no complaints.
I haven't heard any.
No, I think that we were just overfeeding it, which it has no additional effectiveness to be overfed, so we just dialed it into what the appropriate amount is, and things have been going well.
Okay, good to hear. Vote?
Vote on motion 20-1024. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Tiffany.
Resolution number 20-1025, in the matter of approving the annual subscription addendum of the software license agreement between the Delaware County Board of Commissioners, the Delaware County Sheriff, and affidavit maker for the Delaware County Sheriff's Office.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Dean Stelzer, Chief Business Officer for Delaware County Sheriff's Office. It's a small contract. It's an annual one. The dollar amounts otherwise could be approved administratively, but the person that owns the software refuses to sign a contribution form, the state form. So prosecutor's office said we had to go directly to the commissioners and get approval.
Okay. Vote?
Vote on motion 20-1025. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
All right, thank you, Dean.
Resolution number 20-1026, in the matter of approving supplemental appropriation.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Good morning, Commissioners. Mike Fromer, County Administrator. When we had
started looking at the CARES funding. We had several projects for PPE and other things like that we were using the funds for, and the overall amount of those came in less than what we had, the subcommittee had approved. And so this is to repost more of the funds. The $10,697.36 is what we did not end up using for those PPE, and it's going to be posted for payroll costs. So,
Okay, vote.
Vote on motion 20-1026. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye. Okay.
We can go to administrator reports since Administrator Fromer is right there, or we can go to other business and then come back to Mr. Fromer.
Let's do the other business, because let's go ahead and do that.
All right. Resolution number 20-1027, in the matter of a proclamation for the Delaware County District Library's groundbreaking for the Liberty Branch Library.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Comments? I'll leave it, if you had something you wanted to say.
Well, you're going to say that due to conflicts, we're unable to attend the groundbreaking, and the proclamation is an opportunity for us to show our support for the library.
Yeah, it's, you're right, we have Land Bank Tuesday, or Wednesday, the 18th, and this is at the exact same time, the groundbreaking is the exact same time as Land Bank, so we can't make it, but it is exciting that the Delaware County District Library is adding a new facility in a good spot at Stites Road and Home Road in Powell and Liberty Township. So congratulations to them. People, I think, are using the library differently than they have historically, especially during the current challenging times we're in right now. But clearly, there's a lot of support for the library, and they offer a lot of really good programs. So anyway, we will go ahead and take a vote.
Vote on motion 20-1027. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
All right, we will get this resolution to them so that they can read it at the groundbreaking ceremony on Wednesday. And thanks for everybody putting it together so quickly. And
That brings us back.
that brings us back to administrative reports.
good morning, Commissioners. Mike Fromer, County Administrator. The only update I wanted to provide you today is we, on Thursday, went live with the Small Business Grant Program. And this morning, we've already received almost 80 applications for that. So just in a very short time frame of, from Thursday until today, we've already had 80 businesses submit for that, and I think the timing of that program is going to be excellent and well serve the local small business community. So that's all I have.
Good to hear. It's, the word's getting out and people are applying. The deadline again is December 4th.
Correct.
Just want to make sure everyone remembers that. They will fast approach. Commissioner Lewis, other comments?
Yes, I would like to make a comment regarding where we find ourselves today in Delaware County regarding the spread of the virus. Once again, we find ourselves facing business and school closures as a last-ditch measure to slow the spread of COVID-19. This summer, Dr. Marty McCary, a professor of surgery and health policy at Johns Hopkins University, said the one clear factor that will predict how many people will die from COVID-19 is how seriously people take it. The numbers don't lie. This pandemic has taken a sharp turn for the worse and is spreading everywhere and faster by the day. More than 75% of Ohio's 88 counties, including Delaware, are now at level 3, which is red, and the number is growing. Community spread, that is when many people are catching the virus without any known contact with a sick person, is approaching critical mass in Delaware County. Before addressing business and school closures, I'd like to highlight the consequences to our frontline healthcare providers. Everyone from our EMS crews to ICU teams and our family physicians and nurses. Community spread is seriously impacting all of them in two ways. First, they are now treating and exposing themselves and their families to many more COVID patients than ever before. Second, and more and more of our healthcare providers are falling ill themselves, which renders them unavailable to treat both COVID and non-COVID patients alike for at least 2 weeks. The question before us is, what should we do and not do to slow the spread of COVID-19 in Delaware County? If we as individuals do not personally commit to frequent hand washing, social distancing, and face coverings at the appropriate times and places, then closing our businesses and schools will have no positive effect on slowing the community spread of COVID-19 in Delaware County. In fact, shutting down everything will certainly cause many more problems than it solves, such as severe economic harm that will destroy countless businesses, increase social unrest, growing numbers of mental health issues, and many other unwelcome consequences. Right now, until everyone is vaccinated, all we can do as individuals is to protect ourselves, our families, and our healthcare workers against the virus and strictly adhere to our published health guidelines, especially with the approach of indoor holidays and family gatherings. In summary, I urge Governor DeWine to avoid ordering any closures and to redouble his public efforts to encouraging frequent hand washing, mask wearing, and social distancing, not as a matter of legal obligation, but as an expression of solidarity with our community's healthcare providers and the most vulnerable citizens as we go about our normal life, education, and commerce as best as possible. And that's it.
Okay. No, well, anything else? No, that's,
Trying to think, what else was I going to say? I can't think of it right now. I'll let you know if I do. Thank you.
all right, Commissioner Merrill?
Well, first of all, we had a course of board meeting Friday, so that went pretty much as we expected, and I thought it went well. I'd like to follow up on Commissioner Lewis's comments. I too am concerned about, and I'm going to use the word overreach, I think the business community at large, for the most part, has done everything they can to comply, and they just cannot afford another shutdown. And the impact goes well beyond just the impact on the business community. We know suicides were up when the shutdown occurred last year, and you can go through the litany of other medical issues that result from that shutdown. And I likely would have said it a little differently, but I agree with the concept that we have got to help maintain the business community. They've more than done their share. The places I have gone, they're wearing their mask. We have the shields up, and I think this is time to support the local business. And if there are bad actors, identify the bad actors, but don't generically shut down everyone. And to that point, I'm going to ask that we all provide our comments to Eric and Mike, ask them to put together a resolution that we could vote on. We have a lot going on today. Ask them to put together a resolution that includes all of our observations and comments, and that we could vote on later today.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm not going to just restate those comments. I certainly support them. We really have to be careful this phase, not to further damage the businesses that have already been extremely damaged, many of them, in the last 8 or 9 months. Whatever we can do to be more targeted, more surgical in our approach to handling this phase would be greatly appreciated and beneficial to everyone, because schools are hurting. I mean, the children would be hurt
Yes.
by lack of education. There's all sorts of clinical diagnoses that aren't being done because people aren't going to the doctors, to the hospital, et cetera. Certain crimes are up. I mean, again, it's devastating in other ways. A real broad, massive shutdown like is being discussed. Hopefully, it won't come to that. And we can be much more thoughtful and targeted and surgical in our response this time to, again, prevent further damage, serious damage to our population, our residents. Just a couple other things. We had our COYC meeting last week. Things are going along fine there. Land bank meeting is tomorrow, as I mentioned. There is a call, interestingly, on Channing Street. The community is having a community, or the group that's leading the discussion on renovating Channing Street, our engineers building, is having a community call to lay out their thoughts and have a discussion on, the possible impact of redoing Channing Street, our building there, as we exit that and go to the Bixby campus. Anyway, that'll be very interesting. It's promising at this point to repurpose that building in that area. Delaware County Historical Society is having their annual meeting Thursday or Wednesday evening as well, virtually. Gary's favorite approach, I'm sure.
I love them.
So anyway, that's all I have. We do.
Could I ask for clarification? Are we directing Mike and Eric to get together to put together a resolution?
I would like to do that.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
just want to make sure they had a clear
Right,
understanding.
Right,
Yep.
yes, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I think it is a good
Thank
idea.
you.
We can more formally
Right.
think it out and
Or
present it.
later today? Is that what your direction is?
Yes, to be voted on this afternoon, hopefully, after.
Yeah, if we can
Right.
get it,
That's
we
right.
can get it pulled together, we're going to have multiple sessions today, so we can hopefully get that done.
Yeah, we'll be interviewing until 3:30 or 4 today, so.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
We do have need for executive session, Jennifer, for interviews as well as other topics.
Resolution number 20-1028, in the matter of adjourning into executive session for consideration of appointment, employment of a public employer or public official to consider the purchase of property for public purposes and for economic development.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Vote?
Vote on motion 20-1028. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye. Okay, we are now in executive session.
Resolution number 20-1029, in the matter of adjourning out of executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Vote?
Vote on motion 20-1029. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye. Okay, we are back in session, and we are going to go into recess until 1:30 this afternoon. Thank you, Sarah.